Hello, beautiful people. Most welcome to the page here on GBC News. This is where we do chit-chatting. We get those who matter when it comes to sports development. Today, our lenses are on basketball, developing the right pillars and making sure that the structures are well put together. So today, I will bring in three individuals who are bent on making sure that basketball narrative in Ghana is changed for the better. It's moved from the level of recreation to serious business. And so they need to tackle every angle, the court, of the court, and then the rest. And so there is an ongoing elite coaching clinic at the University of Ghana. For some of us, it's the first time in many years we are seeing an elite coaching clinic. We've been seeing coaching clinics happening for basketball. We see instructors from overseas coming to assist, but sometimes you look at it from the developmental grounds, but we don't see the real elitists, but maybe they are here, they will walk us through. So I have three able gentlemen here. Let me introduce them and then let's hit the grounds running because it's been a while since we dunked. Let's try and then do something. Unfortunately, I didn't bring my basketball here, but don't worry, we'll talk about it. To my immediate left is the evergreen. He's a young man, that's what he says. So age is a number. So for him, age is a number. He doesn't want to grow. The president of Ghana Basketball, Alex Kukula, is in the house. President, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
And then the man everybody is talking about, you walking around Legon, you ask the basketball fraternity, they said, oh, Coach Max is in town. Coach Max is in town. So he's here. This is his first time coming on a TV station in Ghana. And so, Coach, thank you very much. How do you pronounce your name?
First of all, thank you very much for having me. It's a great pleasure. My name is Miljan Gvosdenovic.
Okay, Miljan Gvosdenovic. Okay, great. So here's the course instructor that is really taking our elitist coaches through. We'll get to him to get us more. But the man that doesn't want to appear on TV most of the time, sometimes he has to do it. The one and only Ayitey Bulley is in the house. It happens to be the Greater Accra.
No.
You've moved away from Greater
No,
Accra.
vice,
Yeah, no,
vice president.
Vice president for Ghana Basketball Federation.
Okay. Okay. So,
administration and finance.
So you understand Shikasari. So the money will come from him. So gentlemen, most welcome to my studios. It's been a while, but it's always refreshing having you guys because you run the show. And so when we get you guys telling us as it is from what we see from the outside, it gives us that refreshment that indeed something is happening behind the scenes. So I'll give the first floor to Mr. President to walk us through. Why is it the right time now for us to have an elitist coaching clinic or program for our coaches?
Okay, thank you very much, Theo. For me, I wouldn't even say it's the right. I think it's long overdue because when we came into this administration about in October last year, some of the, if you look at the pillars that we have to try to change the whole basketball ecosystem, one of the main things we had was to try and improve the capacity of our officials. So when I say officials in basketball, I mean the coaches, the referees, table officials, because for us, we think that is the basis on which we can grow the game. Because now we see that there are a lot of kids who want to play basketball, but are they doing it the right way? That's the question we asked ourselves, and we said, okay, we have to look for ways to get our coaches well trained. So this is one such initiative we took because the normal FIBA channel is very limited. So, and for us, there are a lot of coaches who need to be trained, and we can't go that way alone. So we looked at other means, getting friends from outside who could come and do the same thing, because even usually a FIBA course would take just 4 days. But luckily we have Coach Max coming for a whole week to come and impart the knowledge and experience that he has in growing basketball.
Great. Now I'll jump Coach Max. I'll come to you, but let me come to Ayitey. Ayitey, you guys have been on the scene for a while now.
Yes, we have.
Don't we have coaches? Don't we have elite coaches?
Look, the simple answer is no. and truthfully, we don't have enough of them at all.
We don't have
We don't
enough.
have them, and we don't have enough. Maybe we have one coach that has taken us to maybe like the bar, or the who's probably trained to get to that level.
Okay.
But we don't have enough people who are certified. We don't have enough people who know, who understand the game. Look, to be frank with you, if you ask me, it's in our palace, Kobo.
Okay.
They're just calling to go and play. We're not there.
Okay. So what does this elite coaching clinic mean to basketball development in Ghana?
So it means that you have, the coach is supposed to develop the players.
Okay.
Supposed to show the players what to do in certain circumstances and during game match scenarios and stuff like that. Explain to them how the rules work and how you can play with around those rules. So it's supposed to also help them the fitness programs and all kinds of stuff, which today has changed from what we knew before. So all these things need to be instilled in our coaches, right? And so today, what he is here to do is to bring us up to speed, open our eyes to what is going on in basketball today, the way coaching is done and stuff like that. And that is what we are going. That's what we're hoping to achieve by having
Coach Max
here.
This is not the first country you've been to trying to impact the knowledge you have, but Ghanaians want to know what separates an elite coach from a coach.
My idea is, first of all, thank you very much to Alex Kukula and the Ghanaian Basketball Federation for inviting me here. It's a great pleasure to be here. There is loads of interest here for basketball and also for coaching. It's a great response. So we had between 20 and 30 coaches attending a clinic. So I believe it's very important to start coaching from earliest stage possible and gradually prepare, educate in basketball sense those players to be ready to playing at higher level. With idea on top of that pyramid that one day they're going to be crucial part of BAL, and international scene in other ways. This is club scene and also international scene like FIBA competitions. Again, at all levels, senior men and everything below.
Okay. So far, you've been around for a while now. What have you seen from the coaches you are working with? On the court, in the classroom?
First of all, they're very enthusiastic, which I believe is starting point. They have a mind for coaching. They want to improve. They want to learn, which I believe it's really good starting point. After that, with that enthusiasm, I don't know how many of them are professional, or even if they are, how much are they paid? Can they make living out of it, and so on and so forth? Which I doubt that many of them like full-time professionals. But enthusiasm is there, so that is, again, in my opinion, crucial point, and it's very good to see such environment.
Okay, and before I come to Alex, I just want to know, so what areas have you seen these 30, 25, 30 you are working with? Which areas have you seen from them and from their reactions that you feel that it can be improved, it can be taken to the next level?
First of all, I start clinic with planning and training session organization. And I believe hardly that many coaches are wasting loads of time because they're not well organized.
Okay.
They're using inadequate techniques or tactics and so on and so forth. So we consider that choosing adequate tactics and training session organization and crucial part, most important part in training, in coaching, So I emphasize that many times during the clinic, and I think focus should be there.
Okay.
There is loads of knowledge around there, but that is the secret, organization.
Organization, okay.
From federation to the coaches and everything in between.
Okay, so let me come to the president, because any day he sees people play basketball, although he's behind the scenes, you see his legs moving, his hands moving. Mm-hmm. He just wants to go and play again. but it's time. So maybe we have to create a veteran basketball or something
which exists.
for him to play. But Mr. President, we've been told and we know, and you know, that Ghana is blessed with talent. But why are we not getting it right? Or why are we not getting it right in terms of getting our boys and our girls, I put it that way, players, to rub shoulders high with the ones outside that we see playing the PAL, the big stages here and there? What really is it? And how is this initiative going to either close the gap or even be at par with what we have?
Yeah, thank you very much. I think Coach Marks just put it very, very well when you asked him and he told you that, look, coaching is not just being on the court. I mean, that's what we all see, the man sitting on the bench and shouting at the players. But there's a whole process before even the player steps on the court. And I think that is, when we talk about elite coaching, I think that is where we lack a lot. We don't know player preparation, organization of training sessions. I sat in most of the classes, and for me, as somebody who's played basketball for a long time and in basketball administration, I was enlightened about even how to organize your drills. Because we just go and just start chest pass and we just go. It's not.
So for us, there's a ball.
Yes, and some of them are not even linked. And it was him who made me realize that, look, even if you go and you're doing drills, the drills are not just being done, but there's a process that you go from one drill to another, then at the end of it all, you bring all those drills together and it becomes a component, a full component of what you want to do. So this is some of the things the coaches are learning. And for us, unfortunately, we've not been able to start at the young age of, where he comes from. I mean, people are, so I'll give you a funny story. We were doing, he decided to, before he came here, he asked, what level of coaches do we have? And it was a difficult question to answer because we have about 5, 6 FIBA certified coaches, and the rest are just coach because they found themselves there. That's what I'll say, because there's, as Mr. Ayitey said, there's no certification. They just learned on the job. Maybe some of them were players who just stopped playing and just moved into coaching. So they're just selling what they've learned in basketball, but it's not actually the right thing. So when we're doing the drills, and he said the first segment was going to be for 8 to 12-year-olds. What he was teaching, what he was going to teach, was meant for the coaches to use for that age bracket. And one of the coaches sitting by me just passed a comment. He said, wow, if these are drills for 8 to 12-year-olds, most of our elite players cannot even do these drills. Wow. So you see, that is the gap. That is a gap that we find ourselves in. And you see, people ask, oh, Ghana, they are playing Afro basket right now, yes. U18, and we are not there. People see you, hey, Alex, by you, Ghana basketball, why are we not there? Just as we said, training takes a process. Even qualifying also is a process. It's not one day. And we kept on doing that stopgap thing. We just go and play a tournament. We don't do well. We come back home and we sit there and wait for the next tournament. We'll go, definitely we won't go and do well. And we'll come back. So that cycle, we need to break that cycle. Okay. We need to sit and do it the proper way. Okay. With people like they have been through it. They've developed teams and they've gone on to the, we need to be very patient. For me, that is what I think. We need to be methodical. We need to follow best practice, though we don't have the resources. Most of these things takes a lot of resources. Okay. You understand, to do. But at least we should try doing it the right way. Okay. So
before I come to Ayitey, I'll come to Ayitey. So what are you hoping as the leader now for Ghana basketball and using this clinic to cure? Which of the weaknesses do you see this clinic going to cure going forward?
Basically, coaching ethics. coaching ethics, because it's not about the knowledge alone. The knowledge is out there. You can Google and get all the knowledge you want about basketball and coaching. But there are little things that a coach, a proper, let me use that word advisedly, can teach you that is not written.
Okay.
Because he is experienced. He's done it. He's coached from babies to elite players. He can point them to you that I coach this person and look at the level he is. And he also sees a baby who didn't even know anything about basketball. So that sort of experience is what comes to our coaches, for them to realize that, look, we can also mold somebody. And that's the word I should use, how to mold players into what the coach's philosophy. Okay. And I think that is what I'm praying that our coaches get from him. And I mean, this is not just the period. I've been talking to him, and I'll say this now. He came here, we are not paying for him to be here. It's his holiday, it's his off season.
You are not paying him?
No, it's his off season. He walked in here we just started chatting, and he said, "Oh, Alex, I'm free between this one. This is my off season.
Wow.
I can come and help if you put this sort of things in place for us." And he didn't just walk into the country empty-handed too. Because of his connections, he talked to people, they gave t-shirts, they gave balls, and he brought them along for us. So you see, that is how, these are the sort of relationships we are trying to build, and it is not going to stop after this course. Wow. He's going to be part of us and to try to help us to move from where we want to where we want to.
You deal with more of the monies and stuff like that, yeah. and stuff that has to do with how big or how important is for you to get a recognized FIBA instructor coming into your country to come and coach, vis-a-vis you picking your coaches, going outside to go and learn and come back?
It's what they call it. It's look, both of them work, and it depends on how much funding you have. Usually, training outside, because your trainees are going outside the country, they're able to focus better because there's nothing at home that they're dealing with. They're able to focus better. There are probably better facilities out there that they can train with and stuff like that. But however, in terms of cost, it's easier to fly one person down than to fly 30 people out.
Okay.
Send 30 people. So it's cheaper to, it's more cost effective, let me put it that way, to fly one person down, a trained coach, somebody who a trainer, a very qualified trainer to come and deal with the 30, 40 people. So you can do more with less resources under the circumstances for him coming here. And so that is why this makes a lot of sense for now. In going forward, when we've dealt with the basics and we've established some fundamentals and foundations and stuff like that, then those who are going to higher levels, it's easier, it makes more sense to pay for them to go out and go for a proper course and that kind of thing. Not that it's not a proper course, to go for a course in which, some institution is running, and then we pay for them to go and get what they call higher. All this is aimed at building or what do you call it, establishing the fundamentals for the ecosystem to grow on top of, because we run a referees course earlier in the year. This is a coaches course that we are running. We did a selection for an upcoming tournament that we are hosting, under 16 tournament coming in October, for to select players to go to participate in the tournament, Ghanaian players, for the team and stuff like that. So, as Alex says, look, the fundamentals need to be strong. Otherwise, it will expose you eventually.
and so, with what is happening here, are we going to see some of these coaches being drafted to serve as national team coaches, and the effect we'll see on the national team, because people are playing and we are asking questions? Why is Ghana not part of this thing going on. So, as some of the coaches, part of this, the ones maybe might be lucky to be selected into it. You have the VIP, you guys work. So I can ask you that one.
Yes, I can answer it, but mine is to look for money. I prefer that my president answers that question.
President, so the national team coaches, are some of them part of this clinic that, or those parts, would they be drafted to help the national team coaches as we build a new structure, superstructure for us? People want to see Ghanaian boys play on the big stage.
So this is the interesting part. The coaches that we, in our system, we think are the elite, were the first people to sign up for this course.
Okay.
They have been more enthusiastic because these are coaches. Very soon, maybe when we come out with that, yes, definitely yes. Some of them even have already coached our national teams at the under 18 level. Mm-hmm. So they are the people we are definitely going to draft because this is new knowledge, and I think they will be in the best place to now impact this thing to our young players, especially when these are our U16 and things. This is our base, and I think they will be in the best position to do it. Fresh knowledge from Coach Max, and in 2 months, we are going to have this. And you see, as I said, we are not going to, he will leave here to the UK next Monday. But he's going to be with us because there's going to be a platform with the coaches he's worked with. And whatever knowledge or whatever questions they have, they can keep, they will be interactive.
Okay.
You understand? And then we'll move on from there.
Coach Max, I know you love what you do, but I just want to know, if you are a coach, will there be a time that you can coach a player to think about winning, and you can coach a player to develop their player? Are there two things? Are there two different scenarios? Coaching a player or developing a player and coaching a player to focus on winning a game for you?
Some country, excuse me, as I'm coming from very well-developed basketball country, you know, Serbia that won pretty much everything, you know, ex-Yugoslavia, Olympic gold, 5 times world champions, many times at men and women level, European championship, you know, we produce many NBA players and so on and so forth. So I believe, and I had the chance to work with some coaches over there and they were my mentors, and get some knowledge. So this is a very interesting question. We should actually combine those two things, winning or implementing that type of mentality into our players, and also developing. So usually idea is that at early stages, you know, we are not focusing on winning, yeah, but on developing. Because I just presented, for instance, you may have a late bloomer, you know, the player who is not showing now his top ability, but in the future, in future projection, we can see that that player can reach really high. So again, development is must. Another thing, having young players, for instance, playing in a senior teams, that is another thing. Maybe you will not, but again, everything is planning, you know. So we may have a club or environment where winning is everything. So we should focus on winning, let's say, to reach ball competition. On the other hand, we may have a program, club or team that will put that competitive success on a way, but developing young players who will, in the next period, the next few years, be able to play at that level. So we are producing, you know. So I believe focus should be again on younger players and their development, rather than winning, or at least at this stage.
Okay, so what do you want, or what will you wish every coach currently listening to you in the classroom, on the court, do differently? When you leave them, you'll be leaving. You are being told by Monday, you've gone. But what do you wish they would do differently to improve the game?
Oh, this is a very tricky question, you know. I don't know much how they're very enthusiastic, you know. There are a couple of them coming from far north. They said they travel 6 hours, you know, to get here. So that is incredible, you know. And I understand also that they have a very successful program, what they are doing, you know. I believe most important thing, my message will be for them to focus on fundamentals, most important things. I said usually it doesn't matter what you know as a coach, what matters is what your players can do on constant basis. Yeah. I have that system 10-5-3, pick up 10 most important things you want your players to know, reduce it to 5, reduce it to 3, stick for those 3 until all your players master it, then move to 4 and 5 and so on and so forth. So very often, in my experience, coaches are overcoaching, trying to express their knowledge to their players rather than teach them something. And also said that will be my final message. Make sure that at the end of the session, product of your coaching is visible. You teach player A to have good shooting form. You teach player B to see the ball playing defense all the time, and so on and so forth. So at the end of each session, all your players must be better than at the beginning of the session. If they follow that path, every session you have a better player, bit by bit, bit by bit. At the end of the season, they will be amazing.
Great.
We cannot teach players to fly, but just small things. If you teach them 10 small things, that's it.
Okay, great. Alex, how time runs fast. I didn't know we've reached our 30 minutes. But sincerely, with what you saw before deciding with your team that we want to sacrifice and lead Ghana basketball, where are we now, and with what is happening now, where are we going to be before even the championship comes in, that the rest of Africa will come here to come and play?
Okay, so for us, when I think, as you said, we've all been in the game for a while, but we've come to a realization that, look, we don't have to do the popular things.
Where popular means what?
Okay, so like going into just rushing into competitions,
okay,
or playing to the gallery or something. We are not in any way saying that we have all the knowledge to run Ghana, but we've got the mandate, and this is what we think will take us to the next level. Okay. And for us, we are going to stick to it, try to do it, and then hopefully, at the end of it all, it will be visible on the court when we all sit by the sidelines to watch. So as he said, for me, one important thing he said to the coaches was that, look, like he said, you don't overcoach. The overcoaching basically means you are pumping too much knowledge at the same time in a short period of time to one person to assimilate. Like you are teaching him 20 different things in one training session. He's going to forget. He can be the most brilliant person in this world. He will forget. So instead of that, take 1 or 2 and repeat it so many times on the same day that the guy cannot help but take it in. You understand? So I think that is what we also, sitting now as administrators, we are going to do. We are going to make sure that what we've decided to do, the 5 pillars that we have, we are going to stick to those pillars, facilitate for those pillars to be strong. Mm-hmm. Then ultimately you see our basketball growing from there.
Okay, Ayitey, we're checking out, but sincerely, like you said, you ran around to convince corporate Ghana. Should corporate Ghana still believe in the basketball brand?
For sure, for sure. I mean, you see, we are committed to making basketball development of basketball in this country a success. Okay. We are committed to doing that, and we are committed to ensuring that whatever resources are put into basketball yield results. Okay. We're not here to make ourselves look good. We're here to make basketball develop. We're here to establish basketball in Ghana. We are here to establish basketball as a source of entertainment and as a source of pride for the country.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Coach, thank you very much. We'll meet at the court.
And then thank you for having me here.
He told me he once worked as a journalist, so I understand him why he's comfortably sitting down there. But thank you, President. Thank you, Vice President. And then thank you, Coach Max, and you doing the watching. Keep watching the space because, in fact, a lot is happening behind the scenes for Ghana basketball. And so the day they unveil or they deliver their baby, you clap for them. And so we are here to see, and when the success comes, we will stay with them. Thank you very much, and thank you for doing the watching. Keep watching GBC News. The page returns same time tomorrow. Have a lovely day.